I spent the summer enjoying married life with my new wife, but I didn't touch my physics homework at all. Just as we finished our intimate business, I heard the best news ever. My physics teacher resigned. Now, my homework was finally off the hook. I was absolutely thrilled, but my new wife giggled behind my back, whispering, "Do you really hate your physics teacher that much?" "No, Mr. Shia is nice. It's just that I really can't do physics." By the way, do you know why he suddenly resigned? Fu Wangwan pretended she wasn't interested in gossip. What? Well, old man Shia told the class today that his daughter is obsessed with a man, neglecting her duties, so with no one managing the family company, he has to go back to work. Who knew Fu Wangwan would frown and mutter, "So that's how my dad talks about me." Before I could react, she said, "So, you should really thank his useless, love-struck daughter." "Absolutely," I replied, feeling completely warped. Thanks to his lazy daughter, I'm finally free from my misery. But Fu Wanwan quickly chimed in to remind me, "Mr. Shai is just not teaching your class anymore. It doesn't mean the course is cancelled. I doubt I'll be that unlucky. Maybe we'll get a gorgeous female teacher instead." Hearing gorgeous, Fu Wanwan immediately warned me, "What are you up to? Remember, you're a married man." I immediately backed down. I couldn't bear to lose her warm embrace, especially at night. The next morning she was already gone, leaving a note on the table off to work. "Eat your breakfast like a good boy." My very first 8 a.m. class of senior year was physics. When the bell rang, the room fell dead silent for 3 seconds, then instantly erupted, "Oh my God. Quick, I need all our info in 3 minutes." I instinctively looked up at the podium. Instantly, terror struck my heart. Then, completely possessed, I blurted out, "My gorgeous wife." Instantly, every eye in the classroom locked onto me. Realizing my blunder, I scrambled to my feet. "Sorry, Professor. My brain is scrambled. Whenever I see a beautiful woman, I call her my wife." Fu Wanwan paused. "Boys should learn some restraint. Let me introduce myself. I am Fu Wanwan. Mr. Xia had to leave due to a job transfer, so I will be taking over your physics course. Regarding classes and grading, I have aligned with Mr. Xia. Your final grades will follow his strict rules." Hearing that felt like a punch to the face. My wife is my new professor. I thought she worked at Jinda University. Why is she suddenly in my final year of college? I am wrapped up in a student-teacher romance. This is insane. I have emailed a homework. Class rep, bring them to my office later. For those who didn't bring their homework, bring it to my office by tomorrow morning at the latest. Wait, can we get an extension? Even 3 days to catch up. Silence. Homework is a matter of principle. Everyone is treated equally. I know some of you slacked off thinking you could escape when Mr. Shia left. If your work isn't submitted by 10 a.m. tomorrow, 50% of your grade is gone. As Mr. Shia told you before the break, I desperately wanted to call her out. She was clearly targeting me. She watched me celebrate yesterday. Just then, some guy tried to hit on her, asking, "Professor, can we get your WeChat?" "No WeChat, my work email is always active. Since it's our first day, feel free to ask anything." "Professor Fu, are you single?" Her eyes subtly drifted right toward me. "No, I am married. We recently registered it. I will share wedding candy with you when you graduate. Let's make this a great year." Hearing this, the whole class erupted again. Externally, I was calm as a cucumber, but inside, I was a nervous wreck. I almost snapped my pen in half. I opened our class group chat and saw the name was already changed too. "We all want to marry Fu Wangwan. She's strict, but she's gorgeous. Why couldn't I get a wife like that? Oh, just wait till we get home, lady." When she arrived that evening, I wasn't downstairs. She walked upstairs only to find the master bedroom locked tight. In the guest room, a tiny blanket and a pillow were waiting. Yep, kicked out. "Chun, open up," she called. I ignored her. "Chun, really? I bought barbecue from that new place down the street. Want some?" Having not eaten dinner, I shamelessly yelled back, "What did you get?" "Let's see. Lamb skewers, pork belly, and pork belly." This woman really knows how to play me. It's all my favorites. Seeing her gorgeous face, I wanted to pinch her cheeks. I grabbed the bag. "Is hubby still mad?" She teased, "Don't be mad. Okay, Fu Wanwan, don't call me husband. You knew I hadn't done my homework, yet you sat there laughing. You did that on purpose. Hey, your wife warned you not to slack off." "Oh, so I should thank you." Seeing my angry face, a smirk spread across her lips. "Haha, well, baby Chun, remember to hand in your homework tomorrow." That smug look drove me crazy. "Even if you start now, you probably can't finish it all. Good luck. I have an online meeting." Baby Chun can do his homework alone. I turned my sorrow into appetite, but once full, my homework anxiety rushed back. When you're hungry, you only worry about food. Once full, a million worries hit. I opened the assignment and froze. The workload was massive, and I couldn't solve a single problem. I knew she was strict and failing to submit meant losing points. Whatever, begging your own woman isn't shameful. I knocked on the study door and walked straight in. "Wife, please help me." Only to realize she was mid-meeting. The screen erupted in teasing. Only then did I realize what I'd done and fled in panic. A minute later, Fu11 walked in to find me burying my face under the blanket. What's wrong? Come out, they didn't see you. No need to be embarrassed, but they heard me. So what? I am your wife. Why can't you call me that? I finally crawled out and wrapped my arms around her. Wife, please. For the sake of our marriage, can I get an extension? Fu11 secretly loved hearing that. Suppressing a smirk, she replied, no. Are you even my wife? I am, but today I made it clear. Homework is a matter of principle. Since you didn't write a word, I have to dock 80%. Fu11, that is too far. Make it 50. I still need 3 credits to graduate. If you dock 80, I won't graduate. Hubby, your grade is doomed. Want to earn it back? Show me what you've got. I quickly kissed her lips. Student Chun, seduction won't work on me. Besides, I heard you call every beautiful girl your wife. Yes, so Professor Fu, dock my points if you want. Worst case, I'll just remarry before graduation for another 5 credits. From today on, we are strictly student and teacher, so we should keep our distance. At home or school, we are keeping it professional. Have fun in the guest room. Fine, but if Baby Chun misses his wife, you can always come find me in the guest room. Am I that desperate? Why would I? Also no more black tights during lectures. Are you jealous, Chun? Fine, I'll only wear them at home for you. With that, I locked my door. We have 3 major physics lectures a week, all crammed into the first 3 days. Unbelievable. Looking at her on the podium, she really skipped the tights today. Class. About the homework, 5 students failed to submit it, losing 50%. Student Su Chun didn't write a single word, so he loses 80% of his score. Take this as a lesson. 80%. Even with a perfect final exam score, he will still fail. Does she have a grudge against Chu? But you can earn points back through active participation in future submissions. Seeing her torture me, my dorm mates in room 506 instantly gave her a bad review. Even though I hated the lecture, I forced myself to pay attention. I couldn't risk losing more points. Later at the dorm, everyone worried about my credit. I heard next Saturday's freshman gala offers 2 extra credits just for participating. I perked up. I immediately called my mom to mail my guitar. But the package arrived broken, totally smashed. When Fu11 got home, I was trying to fix it. What's wrong? I'm performing at the gala next week, but my mom's package got ruined in transit. Looking at it, fixing it seemed impossible. I can take it to a shop tomorrow. It might take a few days. No need, I will just borrow one from the music club. She said nothing, packed it up, and left it by the door. Why the sudden interest in the gala? I patted. Only because Professor Fu docked 80% of my score. I have to perform just to make up those credits. I headed upstairs to shower and sleep. Suddenly Wanwan pushed the door open, holding her pillow. Who said you could enter? We agreed we are strictly student and teacher at home. Go sleep elsewhere. Su Chun, stand strong. Don't soften up, hubby. You really don't want to hold me. Sleeping, just so you know, I'm soft and great to hug. Other places are fine, too. No way. Wanwan knew I was just acting tough. She walked over, leaned down, gently pulled my arm, and snuggled right into my chest. Did you miss me today? Honestly, this woman had me completely wrapped around her finger. Good boy, Chun. The next day after school, I came home to a brand new guitar. Wanwan was cooking in the kitchen. Why buy such an expensive guitar? I told you I only need it for the welcome gala. It's fine. It's not often you perform, and you can play it at home later. Just practice hard. I'll be there to watch. But thinking about her crazy popularity at university lately, if she actually showed up, she'd definitely win over a whole new crowd of fanboys. Professor Fu, you should stick to your office and prep lessons. Does my husband not want to see me? Ever since she started teaching at my university, the school forums were filled with suggestive posts. Some guys even joked about paying millions to keep her as a pet. Do you have any idea how much attention you attract? Always turning heads. She obviously knew I was jealous. So, hubby, tell me how I'm turning heads. You dress so well and look gorgeous every single day. What else would you call it? Applying her night cream. She smiled. So this is what your praise feels like. Fine, I'll listen to you and stop dressing up so beautifully. Chun, if you're really worried someone will steal me, buy me a ring to wear. That way, everyone knows I'm married. I suddenly realized we'd been married for nearly 3 months, and I hadn't given her a single gift yet. Whatever, once this gala is over, I'll pick out a decent gift for her. After all, whether I graduate smoothly or not is still entirely in her hands. Thanks to my solid foundation and days of hard work, my guitar practice went incredibly smoothly. The night before the show, I nervously checked the sheet music over and over, terrified of messing up. It was late when Wanwan got home. Why are you back so late? I went to get a gift for my baby Chun. Here, and I got a present. My eyes lit up instantly. What is it? Wanwan pulled out an exquisitely wrapped box from behind her. I rubbed my eyes. This was a custom piece by the famous designer, Mr. Jiang, usually not for sale. I'd only seen his work from a distance at runway shows. I'm terrified of wearing this. What if I ruin it? How would you even return it? She pinched my cheek. Silly. It's a gift. It's yours now. Want to try it on, hubby? 2 minutes later, I walked out of the dressing room, and her eyes went completely wide. Does it look good? Yes. You look incredibly handsome. Thanks, wifey. Seeing my blushing ears, she stood on her tiptoes and gave me a soft kiss. On the night of the gala, my solid foundation and days of intense practice paid off. I executed my performance flawlessly. But even after all the acts ended, I couldn't spot Won anywhere. Did that woman actually take me literally when I told her not to come? She didn't even watch me play. Walking to the school's back gate, I opened her car door and saw a massive bouquet of flowers. Great job, hubby. Congrats on a successful show. Aside from my high school graduation, this was my first time getting flowers. But I still felt a lingering disappointment, since she hadn't seen me perform live. I pulled out my phone and tapped on the new notifications on my feed. Wait, you actually went? There it was on her timeline, a picture of me performing captioned, "A full moon in a starry sky." Taken from the very back of the hall. Did you block the school staff? I only use this account for family. Work is separate. Okay? She really knew how to melt my heart. Just like that, all my regrets vanished. It was a perfect day, but even the best days can't stop a guy from digging his own grave. Maybe because I was still riding high, I finished my shower and sat right behind her. I had no idea your photography skills were this good. Look at the colors. I pointed at the screen asking for her editing secrets. Before she could speak, her eyes landed on her contact name on my phone. Great. Without a single word, she climbed onto my lap and started kissing me. She remained silent, completely devouring my lips. Baby Chun, you have no idea what you did, do you? Honestly, I was completely clueless. What did I do? She had already unbuttoned my shirt, whispering seductively in my ear. What was that contact name you gave me again? Remember now? My brain short-circuited for 2 seconds before I tried to scramble. That was from when, but this woman never listens to excuses. Before I knew it, her entire body was wrapped around me. I knew there was no escaping tonight. By Saturday noon, I finally woke up to an empty bed. I stretched, headed downstairs, and found lunch already waiting. I noisily pulled out a chair on purpose. Right then, she emerged from the kitchen carrying the last dish and sat beside me. What's wrong, baby? I kept quiet, my mind replaying every intense detail of last night. Hubby, I'm sorry I went too far. Let's go to the hot springs later, okay? I looked at her, utterly confused. Are there even hot springs in Nan? Just eat. We'll go soon. I shot her a look but stayed quiet. But as we were leaving, she looked off. Won, are you feeling okay? Why do you look so pale? Wait, are you burning up? I'm fine. It'll pass. No, a fever is serious. What if it cooks your brain? Off we went to Nanchang People's Hospital. I rarely get sick. So, standing in the lobby, I had absolutely no idea where to register. Don't worry, let's go straight to the 8th floor. My friend works there. I dragged her upstairs to the clinic. Sister Won. What are you doing here? She pulled me close. Let me introduce you. This is Zhang, my college friend. And this is my husband, Su Chu. Hi, brother-in-law. What an awkward title. Just give her a good checkup. She was perfectly fine yesterday. Only patients inside, bro. Wait out here. I'll take good care of her. Honestly, this fever is just from being pent up for too long. Stop talking nonsense. Don't you dare say that to Chun. Won glared at Zhang. Brother-in-law, her fever is actually because... Won frantically tried to cut her off. What's going on? Don't you dare hide it from me. She's just been abstinent for too long. It's no big deal. On the way home, I stared out the window, completely mortified. Talk about dying of embarrassment. What did she mean abstinent for too long? Last night, we literally had a wild night. That doctor was a total quack. But lying in bed later, curiosity got the better of me. And I googled the risks of female abstinence. Holy crap, there are actually so many side effects. That's terrifying. But then again, we're literally married. What is there to be shy about? It's not like it's our first time. I can't let her keep running a fever. With that in mind, I crept to her study, made sure she wasn't in a meeting, and walked right in. I walked up to her, lifted her out of her chair, and sat her on the desk. Wifey, I murmured, wrapping my arms around her slender waist. I didn't tire you out enough yesterday. Her skirt was already short, and sitting on the desk made it right up even higher. Wifey, we're married. Let's stop being so awkward around each other. Besides, it's not like we haven't done this before. Quit teasing me. My voice dropped low, though my blushing ears gave me away. That first night, didn't you? Silly. We actually didn't do anything that night. I stared at her, completely stunned. Then why did you lie to me? I'm actually mad now. She let out a soft giggle. How else was I going to trick you into coming home with me? I scrambled back instantly and stormed out, locking the bedroom door. Unbelievable. Let a fever fry her brain. She played with my feelings. You're banned from the bedroom. Meanwhile, the school group chat erupted, went wild with messages. Breaking news. Everyone. We officially have a brother-in-law. Wait, what brother-in-law? Sister Won has a boyfriend. Think bigger, guys. Not boyfriend-husband. Wait. What? Sister Won is married. Guess who the lucky guy is? You all know him. We do. Wait. Is it that tool? Handsome Junior. What was his name? Su Chun, right? Damn, Sister Won is an absolute legend. She actually managed to bag him. She must be thrilled out of her mind. No wonder she stopped joining our group dinners. Turns out she's just busy snuggling her hubby all day. Nope. You guys are dead wrong this time. Today Sister Wanwan even came to our hospital. I don't know what they were up to, but she literally got a fever from keeping it in too long. A fever from abstinence. We're teasing her for at least 3 years. Glaring at the chat, Wanwan looked deeply annoyed. Shut it, everyone. I'm in a bad mood. Wait, you're not with him. I got kicked out of the bedroom. I shouldn't laugh. But this is gold. Is there actually a guy Sister Wanwan can't handle? He is a total legend. The next day in class, I stared at her so hard she got uncomfortable. Chun, why are you staring at Professor Fu? Do you have a crush? As if women are nothing but trouble. Are you guys secretly in touch? You seem to have a massive grudge. If she docked 80% of your participation grade, you'd hold a massive grudge too. While I was plotting my revenge, the guys in front of me started whispering, "Man, Professor Fu has such a killer body. Her husband must be so lucky." I wanted to scream, "Lucky my ass. I know her better than anyone and my last name is Su." Smirking at the podium, I thought, today, I'm going to show you what uncontrollable desire really means. Let's see if this teaches you a lesson, you little tease. I only had one class today, so I went straight home, pulled out my phone, and ordered exactly what I needed. Staring at the toys in my hand, I muttered, "Wanwan, you just wait." When she finally got home, the downstairs was pitch black. Did Chuna actually run away because he's mad? "Hubby, I'm home." No answer. But a thin sliver of light peeked through the master bedroom door upstairs. Thank God he was home. Slipping into our slowly walked into the master bedroom in my pajamas. Just as I was about to turn on the light, Wanwan said, "My Ekin, don't turn it on." I felt a sudden premonition and replied, "All right, I'll listen to you." After a brief silence, I asked, "Does what you said this morning about letting me punish you still count?" She took a slow step closer to me. "How does hubby want to punish me?" "Well, let's agree on one thing first," I said. "No matter what I do, you can't resist. If you do, I'll never forgive you." She smiled and whispered, "Deal. Tonight I'm completely at my husband's mercy." "Then close your eyes," I whispered. Fu Wanwan obediently shut them. After a long moment, she felt me step up behind her, gently tying something over her eyes to blindfold her. She had absolutely no clue what was coming next. She had no idea what she was about to face. "Why is my baby Ekin so taking the lead tonight?" she teased. I smirked and said, "Well then, Miss Fu, you better enjoy this hard-won moment. Now, lay down on the bed." "Su Chun, get off me right now," she gasped. But I was not about to play nice. Instead of moving, I slowly unbuttoned and removed my shirt. She was losing her mind, but I just whispered, "Miss Fu, you'll just have to endure this." After quite a while, I finally finished teasing her. "My sweet Ekin, can you let me go now?" She winced. "Well, seeing how obedient you were, I'll let you off," I replied. Blushing furiously, Fu Wanwan bolted from the bed. She dashed straight to the bathroom. By the time she returned, I had already changed back into my regular pajamas. Still, a strange awkwardness hung in the air. I used to think that since we've been married for so long, there was no reason to feel shy. But ever since I realized we hadn't actually taken that final step, reached that intimate stage, a lingering sense of uneasiness remained in my chest. Naturally, Wanwan could tell her baby Econ was incredibly tense. She stepped forward, snuggling directly into my warm embrace. "Hubby, do not overthink things. Until you are completely ready, we do not have to let anything happen. Won't cross that line." I turned my head and grumbled, "From now on, nothing else is allowed. Just kisses and hugs." Wanwan laughed and readily agreed. "All right, I'll do whatever my husband says." By the time I woke up the next morning, she was already getting dressed. I clearly saw the 2 faint red marks left on her wrists. Feeling incredibly awkward, I muttered, "Hey, make sure you wear long sleeves to your class today. Otherwise, I will literally have to move to another planet." Perhaps because we had spent way too much energy playing around last night, I could barely lift my head during my morning lectures. Ju Yanzhou nudged my shoulder and whispered, "Ekin, wake up. The next lecture is with Professor Fu. Come on, spill the beans. Did you get yourself a girlfriend?" Hearing that, every bit of my sleepiness vanished instantly. "No way. I just slept too late last night," I stammered. "Way to confess without being asked." He smirked. "We didn't even ask why you looked so exhausted." "Oh, great. I was acting like an absolute idiot. We'll let you off for now, but you better confess when we get back to the dorm." During Professor Fu's class, some sharp-eyed students noticed the red marks on her wrists, and the class group chat went wild. Everyone was whispering about what kind of beast her husband must be to leave such exciting marks. I felt totally exposed, like my secrets were being dug up. When we finally returned to the dorm at noon, Ju Yanzhou pinned me down on my bed, feeling completely helpless. I sighed. I seriously don't have a girlfriend, but I do have someone I like. I sat up as they teased. "Well, our Recon is finally growing up. Who is she? Do we know her? Do we know her? All right, stop digging." I laughed, pushing them away. "When the time is right, I'll bring her to meet you guys," they yelled as I ran off. I really couldn't join them for National Day, because I had already planned a trip with Fu to Dalian. I had been dreaming of going there for a long time. To squeeze in one extra day, I had book an early morning flight. I was so exhausted that I slept the entire way. "Ekin, we're almost there. she said, pointing at a 5-star hotel. Didn't I say we should stay in a local guest house? Guest houses don't have good soundproofing, she whispered. I knew exactly what she meant by that. I figured I would rest today and go see the sea tomorrow. But as I lay in bed scrolling through videos that night, Wenwen began putting her hands on me again. Suddenly, the room went dark, save for a few dim lights. Romantic music began to play, and I realized things were about to get way more complicated. Fu Wanwan, what are you doing? I asked, suddenly too shy to look her in the eyes. I felt strangely out of control. You can tell me if you have any special requests, baby, she murmured. I don't. I lied. But your body doesn't lie. Be good and tell your wife. Do you really not want me? Let me get closer and check if you're lying. The next morning I woke up to find Wanwan still sleeping soundly in my arms. Thinking back to what happened last night, I couldn't believe how wild she could be. I slowly tried to roll over, wanting to put a little distance between us, but she instantly felt me trying to escape. Where are you going? It's cold over there, she mumbled, pulling herself even tighter against my chest. This woman was unbelievable. Thinking about our intense night, I looked down at her and finally spoke up. Wanwan, did you plan all of this before we even arrived? Yep, I've been planning it for a long time, she smirked. It's all your fault, Wanwan. I was supposed to go see the sea today, but look at the time. I drew back the curtains, and Lake Erhay glistened beautifully in the sun. The sparkling water was absolutely breathtaking. Wanwan popped a piece of fruit into my mouth and teased. So, are you satisfied with your wife's performance last night? How can you be so shameless? I blushed. So what? We've been legally married for ages. Why are you still so shy? She laughed. Be quiet, Wanwan, or I'm never talking to you again. To reward her, I bought her a beautiful ring here in you. She happily declared she would love her hubby even more. Over the next few days, Wanwan took me out to eat, drink, and explore every single day. She was incredibly thoughtful, managing all the travel details so I didn't have to worry about a thing, but I was highly confused. Since our first wild night in Yunnan, we had done nothing but kiss and cuddle. There were absolutely no further steps. Even if she didn't want to, I certainly did. Our original plan was to fly back to Nanchang on the very last day of the holiday, but heavy rainstorms canceled all flights, forcing Wanwan to reschedule our tickets a day early. The moment we got home, I collapsed straight onto the sofa, knowing I hated eating restaurant food all the time. Wanwan immediately cooked up all the dishes I had been craving. I missed your cooking so much, I whined. She laughed. Well, look at you. Since when did my Ekin learn to act so cute? That night, she lay in my arms as I gently caressed her back. I felt incredibly frustrated. When she snuggled even closer, I couldn't take it anymore. No more of this. Go to sleep, I muttered, pushing her away and sitting alone on the edge of the bed. Sensing something was off, she sat up and turned on the nightlight. Cupping my face in her hands, she asked gently, What's wrong, baby? Fu Wanwan, do you even want to be married anymore? I grumbled, What do you mean by that? Tell your wife what's bothering you. Her asking only made me feel more frustrated. She used to tease me constantly, keeping my heart racing. But suddenly she was playing the role of a conservative housewife. It's not what you think, she explained softly. After that wild night, I thought you were too exhausted and unhappy. That is why I wanted you to rest up for a few days. I obviously didn't buy her excuse. She grabbed my hand tightly and placed it on her chest. Can you feel it? I really love you. Since baby Ekin is being so proactive, you are absolutely not allowed to reject me tonight, she whispered. It was a completely sleepless night. Ever since we crossed that line, she became incredibly clingy. I have to say, once a woman gets a taste of it, she becomes truly terrifying. Wanwan had to work overtime in her office at noon. After finishing my lunch, I packed a meal and brought it to her. The moment I walked in, she pinned me against the wall. Don't kiss my neck, I warned, suddenly remembering all those annoying guys eyeing my wife on the school forum. Are all those idiots blind? She is already wearing a diamond wedding ring, yet they still shamelessly try to hit on her. It made my blood boil just thinking about it. The next second, I wrapped my arms around her slender waist, leaned down, and bit directly into her long, elegant neck. Within seconds, I left 3 clear, bright hits. For Wanwan, you have a husband, so you need to be careful. There are too many bad guys out there, I warned. Okay, I will listen to my husband, she smiled. The next day, I was back to dozing off in physics class. The moment the starting bell rang, wild cheers erupted across the classroom. Before I could even lift my head, when I looked up, I literally wanted to vanish from the face of the earth. This crazy woman actually wore a white dress, making those 3 hickeys stand out like bright red beacons. Some bold guys even started quiet down, everyone, she said calmly. I accidentally made my husband angry yesterday. My face instantly turned black. Who can solve this problem on the board? She asked. I can, Professor Su Tianli said, standing up and heading to the front. Looking at his white shirt, I realized absolutely nobody in class was blind. Everyone instantly noticed the hickey on Su Tianli's neck, which perfectly matched his white shirt. I was already highly irritated, and seeing classmates whisper about them wearing matching outfits and sharing matching love bites made it even worse. Yet, she only offered a subtle smile and said nothing. Damn it, wasn't that basically telling everyone they spent last night together? Given how incredibly popular 1-1 was at the university, by the time lunch rolled around, this gossip had already become the biggest news on campus. I bought my lunch, but had absolutely zero appetite. Just then, I saw Sutianli walk in. He even deliberately tugged at his collar, terrified that someone might miss the red mark on his neck. After class, I went straight home and sat down, completely ignoring the nice dinner 1-1 had prepared. 1-1, I want instant noodles, I muttered. Be good, those aren't healthy at all. Besides, your stomach has been acting up lately, so you shouldn't eat junk food. Already in a terrible mood, I snapped back 1-1. Can't I even eat a bowl of instant noodles anymore? She had been working in her lab all day, but she could clearly tell I was upset. Without another word, she headed into the kitchen to cook them for me. When I came downstairs after my shower, a bowl was already waiting on the table. Wow, a deluxe version. You put in so many ingredients, I exclaimed. Eat slowly, don't burn your tongue, she smiled. Once I was full, my mood improved significantly. All right, tell me what happened today, she asked. I slid my phone over to her, and her expression turned colder with every second. Suddenly I felt like I was overreacting. She had spent all day doing exhausting research, yet she still came home to cook for me. And I had treated her like that. I trust you, I muttered. It's just that hearing them say those things makes me feel awful. 1-1 gently rubbed my head. Don't worry, leave it to me to handle. That night I hugged her tight and asked, Wife, do you ever think I'm too childish? Not at all. Hubby, why would you think that? Just stay away from that, Sutianali, from now on, I mumbled. 1-1 nodded and smiled. Okay, I'll do whatever my husband says, she'd said. Sunday's weather was gorgeous, putting me in an amazing mood. I found a sunny, bright spot downstairs and spent the whole day sketching designs. As I passed the study, Fu 1-1 was just hanging up her phone, all done with work. Shall we go for a walk? Fu 1-1 smiled, pinching my cheek. Let's go. Remembering the call she just hung up, I asked, Did I interrupt your work? No, she paused for a second. That was just my dad calling to ask how we've been doing lately. This was the absolute first time since we got married that I'd ever heard her mention her dad. It suddenly hit me that we'd been married for 3 months, yet I still hadn't met my Then let's go visit your parents soon, or else I'll look terribly rude. Sure, next weekend, she agreed. I'll introduce you to my friends too. Though it was just everyday, ordinary chatter, I felt a real sense of what being married and sharing a life actually means. Then, she suddenly remembered something. By the way, that Sutianli situation is completely resolved. You don't have to worry, I'd actually seen it at noon. Sutianli posted an apology on the campus forum, explicitly stating that he and Fu 1-1 only had a teacher-student relationship. My dorm group chat completely blew up. I knew it. How could Professor Fu ever go for a guy like him? He's so shameless. He's basically a homewrecker, see? I knew my woman wasn't like that. Then my roommates teased. Chun, you're so quiet. Are you hiding a side chick? Suddenly, Fu 1-1's voice came from behind. Oh, am I the side chick you're hiding? Drifting over playfully from behind, I spun around in an instant, shoving my phone deep under my pillow. Hey, you can't just spy on my chats with the boys. What else did you see? She smirked. Is your group chat called Nursing Home Babes or Cuties in Retirement? I didn't name it. My hands wandered playfully to Fu 1-1's waist, and she leaned in, craving a kiss. I silently thought, oh boy, this is dangerous. In an instant, the bedroom was thick with a romantic, intoxicating vibe. Safe to say, neither of us slept a wink. When I woke up this morning, my right eyelid kept twitching. I had this nagging feeling that something bad was about to happen. No sleeping in for me today. I only had English and physics this afternoon. It was Ju Yanzhou's birthday, so we planned to celebrate after class. Can I stay out tonight? Not coming home. She hesitated, then remembered that since we got married, I hadn't gone out with my buddies in ages. Just stay safe if you're out late, she said. You really mean it. Thank you, you're the absolute best. By the way, this afternoon I have an academic forum during physics class this afternoon. Another teacher will cover for me, so make sure you behave. The second I stepped onto campus, I couldn't contain my excitement. Guys, Professor Fu is away at a forum today. We have a substitute for physics class. Holy crap, seriously. Exactly. It's not Professor Fu teaching. The sub is just covering one class. They won't know any of us, so there's no way they will take attendance. Is this really okay? Aren't you two being way too bold? Wait a Chun, how do you even know she's going to a forum? I overheard her talking to another teacher on my way back. Oh, who cares how he knows, as long as the tip is solid. But wait, I still have Chun Meng's ID card with me. We agreed she'd come grab it from me at the gate right after school ends. How about you guys? Go book the restaurant and cake first, and I'll catch up right after class. Wow, you really prioritize girls over your brothers now. No way. Besides, if I stay behind, I can help cover for you if they do take attendance. Fine, we'll head out. Zhang Ningtao, you cover the rear. Just outside the school gate, Jiu Yango was still feeling anxious. Do you really think it's okay for us to skip? Oh, come on, man. You're the birthday boy today. The only thing that matters is celebrating your big day. With that, they headed into the cake shop. Back in class, Jung Ning Tao was texting Chun Meng, confirming she would grab her ID at the gate. Suddenly the teacher called out, "Class is starting. Quiet down." At that moment, a painfully familiar voice echoed through the room. "Oh crap, didn't you say Professor Fu was away at a forum today, and that she wouldn't take attendance?" My phone was blowing up with frantic messages. Since nobody ever dared to skip her class, is that actually her standing at the podium? Or a ghost? Meanwhile, at the cake shop, the guys watched the baker finish the cake base. "Is someone from our class still in the restroom?" Fu Wanwan asked. She immediately noticed her husband Mi and his buddies were missing. She was actually supposed to attend that forum, but since she realized she wouldn't get to see me tonight, she decided to teach the class anyway. Talk about a crazy twist of fate, she ended up catching her own husband skipping class. Alright, we won't wait. Let's begin. The 3 students who aren't here will be marked absent. As for further disciplinary action, we will see how they behave later on. Meanwhile, inside the cake shop, Chun, you're a total design genius. Seriously, you're incredible. All the compliments were starting to go straight to my head. Oh, stop it, guys. It's nothing. Alright, we need to quickly contact Jiang Ning Tao and send him the restaurant's location. But the second I opened my phone to text him, I saw 99 frantic unread messages in our group chat. Oh no, we're dead. Professor Fu came to class. She marked us absent, and we might face disciplinary action. I opened the chat and saw a photo of Fu Wanwan standing at the podium, looking absolutely furious. At dinner, I was completely out of it, guys. I'm so sorry. I dragged you all into this. Zhang Peng waved his hand, but everyone was too stressed to eat or enjoying themselves. Drinking ourselves silly was totally out of the question. Around 9 p.m., we called it a night. I was about to hail a cab and go home to explain things to Fu Wanwan, but right past the intersection, I spotted a car parked on the curb. I walked over and slipped into the passenger seat. Fu Wanwan didn't even look at me. Feeling incredibly awkward, I muttered, "I can explain. I really thought you went to the forum." And since it was Yanzhou's birthday, her red lips were tightly sealed. My goodness, she was being incredibly cold today. "Why are you being so cold? Look, I'm the one who dragged them out. Don't write them up, just write me up." She finally spoke. "You can't even save yourself, yet you're trying to play the hero." The second we got home, I immediately started clinging to her. "Wife, I promise, this is the first and last time, okay? Wanwan, just do it for my sake. Don't write down their names." I brought over a bowl of freshly washed fruit to sweeten her up. "Take it away," she snapped. "I have class tomorrow." I knew she was a woman of absolute principle. If she said we were marked absent, she was going to do it. But for my boys, I was willing to suffer a little. With that, I slipped into the shower. Afterward, I gave myself a quick pep talk. My buddies' lives are riding on me tonight. When I walked out, I had only a towel loosely wrapped around my waist. "Why aren't you wearing any clothes?" Fu Wanwan took one look at me and immediately looked down, blushing furiously. I quickly hopped onto the bed and slid right under the covers. "Stop reading that book. Look at me instead. Go put on some pajamas. Stop being a tease. You're my wife. How is this being a tease?" Before she could say another word, I grabbed her hand and kissed it. "Chun, you're just being ridiculous." Amused by my sweet talk, and she laughed. "Wife, tonight you call the shots. You can punish me however you want." My constant teasing left her face flushed bright red. Dazed and overwhelmed, she whispered into my ear, "Tomorrow morning, you and your friends meet me in my office." First thing, the next morning, the 3 of us stood in a perfect line outside her office. "Come in," she called out. The moment we stepped inside, Zhu Yanzhou bowed 90 degrees in apology. "Professor Fu, I am so incredibly sorry. Yesterday was my birthday." "Well, happy birthday then." Hearing those gentle words from her completely threw us all off. Whether I am substituting or not, skipping class is never okay. However, considering your usual good behavior, especially Yusu Chu, I won't write you up this time. We will just count it as an absence and deduct 5 points from your grade. "Thank you, Professor Fu. You're a lifesaver." My friends had absolutely no idea how hard I had worked last night. Back in class, they even teased me. I'd used every trick in the book to calm her down, so I decided to take a break for a few days to recover my energy. But instead, Fu Wanwan got depressed. It had been a week since she last held me. She thought I only touched her when I wanted a favor, and that I was actively avoiding her now. Desperate for advice, she went out to vent to her best friends over drinks. "What's wrong, sweetie? Is your handsome young husband giving you the cold shoulder? Seriously, why do you always tease that innocent young student?" "Don't even start, guys. I just really need some company right now. Can you come?" When I got home that night, I realized Fu Wanwan wasn't there. I decided to call and give her an easy out, just to give her a graceful way out. "Hey brother-in-law, it's Jiang. Wanwan drank way too much, so we're bringing her back now. We're almost there." By the time I ran downstairs, Jiang's car was already pulling up to the driveway. "Why did you drink so much?" I asked, supporting her weight. "Brother-in-law, she's all yours. We're gonna head out. Thanks, guys. Drive safe." I carried her inside. Looking at her lying on the sofa, I sighed. "Why on earth did you drink so much? You can't even find your way home." It was my first time seeing her drunk. She reached up, wrapping her arms tightly around my neck. Do you even know who I am? I asked. My sweet, lovely husband, she mumbled. I was caught between being annoyed and laughing. Just as I tried to stand up, she pulled me down. Hubby, don't be mad, okay? I know I was wrong. I won't give you a hard time at school anymore. You can't drink like this again. There are too many bad people out there, and you definitely can't just cling to anyone and act cute. Understand? But you're my husband. I've loved you for so many years. I'd never mistake you. I smiled. Wife, you're completely wasted. We've only been married for 6 months. The next day I woke up and it was already 10. The moment I got downstairs, Fu Wanwan nudged her way over with a freshly cooked fried egg. Are you still mad? Hubby, I recorded a video last night. If you bully me again, I'll post it on the campus forum for everyone to see what their usually aloof, gorgeous associate professor is like at home. Look, I made you a heart-shaped egg, and your favorite breakfast is on the table. Friday only had 1 class, so I spent ages wandering them all, planning to buy some gifts to visit my in-laws. Feeling incredibly anxious, carrying the presents, I unlocked the door, only to hear, "Are you two trying to start a rebellion? Do I have absolutely no say in this house anymore?" One was my physics teacher of 3 years, the other was my idol. Right now, Fu Wanwan and Xia Gowa were trembling in the corner. Fu Zhan turned around and spotted me at the door, noting I looked even handsomer than when I was a kid. Fu Yun, by the way, is a world-class fashion designer. She is my childhood idol. Mom, you are scaring him. Chun, this is my mom, and this is my dad, Mr. Xia. We have been together so long, yet I never knew Teacher Xia was her father. Hello, Uncle Xia, Auntie Fu. We planned on visiting you tomorrow. See what a polite boy Chun is. You are both grown adults. How could you not think of the consequences? Is her marriage none of my business? I realized Auntie Fu just found out she is a mother. Auntie, please do not be angry. She probably did not know how to tell you. Chun, you are a good kid, but do not defend them. Wanwan was completely wrong. Mom, why do you and Chun not go rest first? Dad and I will cook in a bit. Get lost. I always thought Auntie Fu was elegant. This was a first. Yes, Auntie, I love design. I have adored your work since I was a kid. I desperately searched for a topic. A total extrovert, yet I was turning into an introvert. Chun Wanwan was reckless. I will punish her. They kept me completely in the dark. Is that not outrageous? They got married and only told me now. And this old man helped Wanwan bring Chun home tomorrow for a proper dinner. Safe travels. Wanwan felt like my eyes were burning right through her. She was done for. Nervously playing with her hair, I stared at her. Honey, I am sorry. I should not have lied. I said nothing, turned around, and went to work on my but my mind was a total mess. I could not draw. I felt immense pressure. I thought my in-laws were just ordinary college professors. But now, one is the chairman of Waxia Group and the other is a world-renowned designer. Their status is way out of my league. Chun, come eat some fruit. Getting no reply, Wanwan opened the door and saw me staring blankly at my desk. Wanwan, I do not want to talk to you right now. Honey, I did not mean to. I finally realized the disappointing daughter Teacher Shia complained about was you. You just wanted to mock me. She quickly set the plate aside and crawled into my arms. Well, now, do you not want to be with me anymore? When did I say that? It seemed she was deeply insecure in our relationship. When liars have to pay a price. Since you've behaved so badly, you are sleeping alone for a while. Wanwan panicked, standing up instantly. I gave her no chance to explain, went to the bedroom, and locked the door. The next day, we still went to the Fu family villa. Mom, Dad, here are some gifts. Wanwan and her dad exchanged glances, both with massive dark circles. No need to ask, he had definitely been kicked out of the bedroom by his wife. Auntie Fu smiled. Come in, no need for gifts. Dinner is ready. Chun, let me tell you, Wanwan might be older than you, but she still acts like a child and has a temper. If she goes too far, tell me. I will punish her. Honestly, Mom can find you someone better. I looked across at poor Wanwan. After dinner, Auntie Fu dragged me into her private studio for the entire afternoon. Wanwan kept eavesdropping at the door, but the room was too soundproof. Can you not just sit still? Her dad asked. Are you not worried my mom will replace you? At 7 p.m. we finally came out. I was holding a box. Wanwan tried to peek, but I dodged her. On the hour-long drive home, I stared at my phone and giggled the whole time. Wanwan wanted to ask, but stayed silent in a huff. Back home, she blocked me at the door. Chun, what did my mom say to you? Are you really going to find someone better? Do you know Su Yuan? No way. She is my mom's friend's daughter. She's 5'7", a dancer, and fits your type perfectly. Why not? You lied to me. I am just getting to know her. Su Chun, we have only been married 6 months, and you are already tired of me. Well, Auntie said she is 5'7" and a dancer, so she must have a great figure. Su Chun, do not you dare call her sister. Walking upstairs, I smirked. Teacher Fu, go prepare your lessons in the study. I am sleeping in the bedroom alone. Calling me Teacher Fu while calling her sister. He is in. During class, Wanwan's voice sounded stuffy, and she looked absolutely miserable. She clearly caught a cold from sleeping without a blanket. Wanwan felt miserable all day, checking her phone constantly for my texts. Did he really dump me? No way. That afternoon I bought some cold medicine on my way home. I brewed it and brought it over. Drink this. Do not let it get worse. Honey, do not leave me. I promise I will not hide secrets anymore. I will make some noodles. You will feel better after a nap. I cooked a bowl of plain noodles, filling the house with aroma. Wanwan almost cried. Honey, do you really forgive me? Or are you just pitying me? I really forgive you. Just do not lie again. Wanwan quickly finished her noodles and snuggled next to me like a little kitten. Honey, the last few days I could not sleep. I was so scared you would leave me. Wanwan, stop being so insecure. I just wanted some quiet time to draw. You immediately asked if we were splitting up. Is our love really that fragile? Wanwan, I love you so much. Stop overthinking, okay? The next day she came home to find I had bought a safe. Look, everything Mom gave me yesterday is locked inside. She said this jade is a family heirloom plus property deeds in her art studio. I refused, but she insisted. Well, everything valuable is with you and Mom now. Dad and I have nothing but salary cards. That night, we went to meet her friends at a bar. I was nervous, but she assured me they are easy. Inside, only Zhang Jiang and Nangxin had arrived, and Nangxin were there. Wow, so this is I almost did not recognize Jiang. Who would expect Dr. Jiang, usually so serious in a white coat, to wear a pink bodycon dress in front of me? I am here, how could I be late? I went to Guchanghai. Looking at her, I felt a strange sense of unreality. Of course I know, weren't you the school beauty back then? Hey, that's not right. The real school beauty was Wanwan, you didn't know her, right? He only cared about studying back then, so it is normal. Everyone laughed. I guiltily glanced at Wanwan. She went to Guchanghai to... Oh no. Her face soured. Zheng Zueru did that on purpose. I knew Wanwan too well. She wasn't mad about the school. She was mad that I remembered someone else instead of her. She is incredibly jealous. At the end, the waiter came. I glanced at Zuero's signature. It was so ugly. People change, her handwriting used to be neat. Wanwan felt deeply hurt that her husband had remembered a high school beauty back when he was only in middle school. After sitting for a bit, Wanwan made an excuse to leave. At home, I tried to soothe her. Honey, I really didn't know you went to Guchanghai, you never told me. Zhang Zueru is prettier than me. No way, she is a total player. Stay away from her. I do not like judging others, but how do you know? She plays with men's feelings. Anyway, she is no good. If those letters weren't at Guchang, I'd burn them. But I couldn't keep a secret. That night I tossed and turned. Wanwan, I can't keep this in. I need to tell you something. But don't get mad. What? I used to like Jiang's. Her eyes widened. She opened her mouth, but I stopped her. Let me explain first. She gave me breakfast and wrote me letters, so I thought she'd liked me. I still have them at Gucheng. I will burn them. Her face remained grim. Honey, I was young. It was actually me. I just asked Zhang Zueru to deliver them. I froze. So did you like the writing and feelings in those letters? Or did you like her? The letters, obviously. Wanwan, I only love you, Wanwan. Did this idiot not look at the signature? How could I be at fault? It had to be Zuero's fault. Fuming, Wanwan opened her phone, kicked the culprit out of our group chat and deleted Jiang's. Seeing that heartbreaking red exclamation mark, Zhang Zueru felt incredibly wronged. Within 5 minutes he received Jiang's intel. Let me know why I'm doomed. Brother-in-law says I toy with men's feelings and won't let Wanwan hang out with me. Shocked. I'm like, well, when did I ever toy with men's emotions? 17 and single since birth. The only guy I liked is abroad, and he wouldn't even talk to me. How am I a player? Ever since Fu Wanwan my studio, I rarely went to her study. Today Fu Wanwan went to school to work overtime, leaving me bored all morning. Around noon, she called, asking me to email her a document from the study. Bored, I decided to read in the study for a while. As I was leaving, I bumped into the desk, and a vintage metal box tumbled out of the cabinet. Knowing how much her things mattered to her, I rushed to put it back. Some of the contents spilled out, mostly letters. I resisted the urge to look. During dinner I was completely distracted, wondering who those letters were for. Fu Wanwan placed a bowl of soup in front of me and asked, Aiken, are you not feeling well? Snapping out of it, I met her concerned gaze and told her about the study. Her face instantly looked strained. Wanwan, I didn't read those letters, I added. She softly hummed. Are they important to you? She paused, then said, not anymore. I'm not stupid. If they aren't important now, they once were. She must have really liked that guy to have written so many. Poking hard at the fish on her plate, she burst out laughing. Hubby, are you jealous? Afraid I like someone else. My chest felt like an exploding vinegar jar, but I still stubbornly replied, it's fine if you did. Am I that petty? They're just letters, and you're my wife now anyway. Yet, I felt incredibly jealous. Just thinking about another guy having her heart made even my soup taste sour. Annoyed, I set down my chopsticks. Seeing through my tough act, she didn't explain and just ate slowly. Over the next few days she noticed I was always spacing out in my studio, neglecting our intimacy. That won't do. It'll ruin my relationship with my sweet husband. Carrying grapes, she walked into my studio, snuggled into my lap, and cooed Aiken baby. Why the sad face? Tell your wife. I gently stroked her hair. My draft for the competition isn't finished yet. Hubby, send it to mom and let her help. I usually consult my mother-in-law on professional art questions, and I've improved a lot. But she's a judge for the competition. If she edits my entry, it wouldn't be fair. No, mom is a judge. People will say I cheated. Wow, I didn't know my husband was so upright. Fu Wanwan teased, beaming. Sweetly, I sighed. A classmate of mine already finished his piece, while I'm still agonizing over color saturation. I feel so slow. Fu Wanwan comforted me. Speed isn't everything. Going fast doesn't mean it's good. True art requires patience and refinement. If you're blocked, we should go out. There's no rush. How about a hot spring trip this weekend? I nodded dotingly. Delighted. She leaned in and kissed my cheek several times. A reward for agreeing to go out. What do you want for dinner? I'll make it. How about your specialty? Cola chicken wings. Then you have to reward me tonight too. On Friday, we left straight after class. I snuck into her car like a thief. She looked at me poutingly. Hubby, when can we finally go public? As soon as I graduate, I promise. Just bear with me a little longer, sweetie. The hot spring was in a luxury hotel, and staff guided us to our room. I leaned in and whispered, Wife, you arranged this so thoughtfully. You're so sweet. This is actually Teacher Zia's hotel, she replied. I was startled but then shrugged. It made sense. So we get to stay for free. Well, only if you perform well tonight, then it's free forever. I was totally speechless. Fu Wanwan, is there anything normal in your head? Aiken, I'm only naughty when I'm with you. That night, while I was showering while she went down to grab some late-night snacks, Suti, who was there on a date, spotted her. Remembering how she embarrassed him on the school forum, he smirked. Fu Wan, you made me lose face, so tonight, I'm taking my revenge. Meanwhile, Fu Wanwan got the food, then spotted a bakery across the street. She had to wait, and after paying her phone, died. After a while, she hurried back to the hotel. Stepping out of the elevator, she heard a huge commotion. Looking over, she saw me standing by our door with wet hair and a bruised forehead. She threw the cake and ran past security to my side. What happened, hubby? Seeing her, I grabbed her arm in relief. Where were you? Why was your phone off? She frowned anxiously. I went to buy cake, and my phone died. I'm sorry, hubby. The manager nearby was shaking. Vice President Fu, someone broke into your room and hurt your husband. Terrified, she snapped at them to call a doctor. Aiken, what happened? She gently brushed aside my bangs, eyes full of worry. I sighed. I just finished showering when I heard the door. I thought it was you, but when I walked out, that bastard Su Tianli was lying on a bed completely naked. On the bed. I was furious and went to throw a punch. Her face grew darker by the second. And the wound on your head. He threw a glass at me, but I beat him up too. Babe, gently touching the swelling on my forehead. Her eyes welled up, her voice trembling. How dare he? I squeezed her hand to comfort her. It's fine, just a scratch. And I gave him a taste of his own medicine. Look at him. The bastard probably can't even stand up right now. The manager stammered. We already called the police. He snuck onto this floor while housekeeping was cleaning and got in by knocking on the door. We take full responsibility. All medical bills are on us. Fu Wanwan's eyes were cold as ice, a total contrast to her usual self. Responsibility? Can you even afford it? First, audit the security and fire all negligent stuff. Second, hand over all security footage to the police. I'm suing him for trespassing and assault. He is going to prison. Third, compile the files to expel him from Southern University. I'll personally hand them to the president. The police arrived soon after. Su Tianli tried to lie, claiming he knew Fu Wanwan and was just waiting for her. But she slammed the evidence on her phone in his face, and he instantly deflated and was dragged away. As the doctor bandaged me, she wept. It's all my fault. If my phone hadn't died while I was buying cake, this wouldn't have happened. It's not your fault, babe. That creep brought this on himself. I comforted. Besides, knowing you just wanted to get me cake makes my heart so sweet. She snuggled against my chest and mumbled, but the cake dropped on the floor. I really wanted you to taste it. I smiled. It's fine. Next time we'll buy 10 of them and eat until we burst. That night, she clung to my hand, sleeping very fitfully. Any slight noise would startle her. I held her close, whispering in her ear, Don't be afraid. I'm here. No one will ever hurt you again. Half asleep, she snuggled even deeper into my chest. Early the next morning, we headed back to Nan. Su Tianli's case was resolved quickly, with ironclad proof of trespassing and assault. Southern University immediately announced his expulsion. In the end, his petty schemes ended up shooting himself in the foot. That's the price of being wicked. With that jerk out of the way, I finally relaxed and threw myself into my design competition entry. Fu Wanwan spent every day by my side, bringing me tea and peeling fruit. Whenever I got stuck, we would stroll through the park, feel the river breeze, and discuss colors and composition. Having her there made me feel completely grounded and my ideas flowed beautifully. My mother-in-law heard about the competition and called me. She made it clear she wouldn't show favoritism just because I'm her son, but offered some professional tips. I thought about it and politely declined. Mum, I want to win on my own merits without pulling strings. Even if I lose, I want to know I tried my best. 2 weeks later, my piece was finally finished. Looking at it, I was filled with immense pride. It was a painting of Fu Wanwan and me by Erhe Lake. She was holding my hand, smiling radiantly, against the sparkling water and deep blue sky. The colors were perfect. Every brushstroke carried my love for her. Her eyes lit up the moment she saw it. She hugged me and planted a kiss. Hubby, this is absolutely gorgeous. You're definitely going to win. I pinched her cheek, from your lips to God's ears. After submitting, the wait began. I refreshed the official site daily, absolutely racked with nerves. She kept smiling, calming me down. Finally, the results dropped. I won the gold prize. Speechless with joy, I swept her up in my arms and spun her around. Giggling, she wrapped her arms around my neck, showering my face with kisses. My parents-in-law called immediately. Aiken, amazing job. Mom knew you had this. Not bad, kid, you've got real talent. The very first thing I did with my gold prize money was hit a jewelry store to pick out a diamond ring for Fu Wanwan. It wasn't crazy expensive, but I chose it with care. Inside, it was engraved with our names, Su Chun and Fu Wanwan. That night I took out the ring at home, dropped to one knee in front of her and said, when we rushed into our marriage I gave you nothing. No proposal, no ring, not even a proper wedding ceremony. But my feelings for you were never just a whim. I love you more every day, and I only want you in my life. Will you marry me? Not just on paper, but a real, traditional wedding. Wanwan stood there as tears streamed down her face, nodding as she choked out, yes, Su-chun, I do. After I slipped the ring onto her finger, I teased, now this ring has locked you in, and you can never escape me. I won't, she smiled, never. Over the next few weeks we started planning. My mother-in-law was even more excited than us, personally designing our wedding attire. The gown was white, detailed with delicate pearls and lace, making Wanwan look like an angel. My suit was a custom-tailored black tuxedo that fit perfectly. Meanwhile, my father-in-law took charge of organizing the wedding venue and guest list, sorting everything out perfectly. My buddies were running around helping too. Ju Yanzhou became the best man, while Zhong Peng and Zhong Ningtao helped decorate our place and buy wedding favors. Our wedding was set for graduation day. The Nanchang University campus was filled with laughter and joy, and our ceremony was held right there on campus. It was where Wanwan and I first met, and also the place where our story began. On our wedding day, the weather was perfect, warm sun and a gentle breeze. Wanwan walked toward me, holding her father's arm, wearing the gorgeous gown. With a tender smile, her eyes held only me. In that moment, the whole world fell silent, and I saw only her. My father-in-law placed her hand in mine, patted my shoulder, and said, son, I'm trusting you with one. If you ever hurt her, I won't let you off. Ju Yanzhou, as the best man, gave a speech sharing our funny stories. From the time I called her my wife in class to getting caught skipping, to the whole Su Tianli situation. Everyone laughed, and Wanwan leaned against my shoulder, her eyes curving with laughter. When we exchanged rings, she slipped a matching band onto my finger and whispered, Su Chun, please look after me for the rest of our lives. I held her hand tightly, and on her forehead I pressed a gentle kiss. Fu Wanwan, you are my forever, I replied. After the wedding, we walked around campus in our gown and suit. Everything looked so familiar, except the person beside me was now my partner for life. Some students saw us and yelled, happy wedding. Wanwan smiled back, holding my arm with her head on my shoulder. The sunlight bathed us in its warm, beautiful glow. I looked down at her and whispered, Wanwan, you know, when I heard Mr. Shai resigned, I was thrilled, thinking I was done with physics homework. Who knew my flash marriage wife would actually end up being my physics teacher? Back then, I felt like the craziest things in the world were happening to me. Do you still think it's crazy? I gently pinched her cheek, kissed her lips, and said, not at all, not at all. This is the luckiest encounter of my life. After all the twists and turns, you were always my destiny. From the shock of our sudden marriage, to the hilarious times of losing my voice, to the deep love of our life together. Wanwan and I started with an accident, but we ended with profound love. For the rest of our days, through every changing season, I'll hold her hand and never let go. And all those little arguments we used to have and all those ridiculous moments will become the most precious memories of our lives, tucked away in our hearts to keep us warm forever.